out here. Back with another farming progression video on the bin setup. Hopefully today we're going to get done with getting all the augers in, kind of get everything sealed down. And then on this bin, I just got to basically flip these doors shut, put bolts in those holes. And then this one just swings shut and latches. Not a problem. But I have two other things I need to do in here. One, someone bumped this bin with the grain cart a couple years ago, put a hole in it. That lets in water. You can see where it runs down. That's not what we want, because then it makes rotten corn right there. So I need to patch that hole up. Over here, there's a spot you can hook up a spout to the outside. We have a 32,000 bushel bin just outside the other side there. And this is our cooling bin. So hot corn from the dryer comes into this bin, and it has a perforated floor in it. That way air can blow through it, which cools the corn down. Once this bin gets full, if we want more room, I want to be able to open that hole on the other side so we can stick it out to our 32,000 bushel bin, which also has a perforated floor. Then that way we can just keep things running. Because if our 50,000 bushel bin gets full, then we're stuck waiting on this one to dry the corn off. And this bin only holds 13,000 bushels, but you can only get it a little more than half empty with this kind of sump because our middle one's not working right now. So when that's the case, you kind of have a bottleneck, because once our wet holding bin gets full and semis get full, then you have to wait until the next day basically before you can go. So by opening up that hole, we're going to have access to that other bin, and then we're going to be able to get that much more done in a day, because this bin can just be running out into that one. Then we basically have another cooling bin then. You can't cool the corn once it's in the flat storage because there's nothing under the floor to let air blow through. So that we try to empty that one out first. Our flat storage building holds about 120,000 bushels of corn. It's 171 by 65 feet wide, or 60 feet wide. I always forget. Anyway, it's a good sized building and it works well. All right, I'm gonna get back to work. We'll see if we can get this stuff done. I think what I can do for this hole up here is go get a caulking gun, get a ladder in here, climb up there, see if I can caulk that hole shut. This is what I mean. On the other side of that plate, we have that bin. So we can put a system of augers here to get up to the top of that bin. And that bin has a false floor in it, therefore it can also cool the corn. So I think that's gonna work pretty well. It's just gonna be there just in case we have bottlenecks. It's not gonna be something we use the entire time. It'd be a nice little addition, faster than last year's harvest anyhow, because we didn't do that last year. We have some indoor things we still got to do for the grain setup. Right now I'm in the flat storage. We call it the big machine shed. We had a little bit of grain in here yet, probably 1,500 bushel. So I got that cleaned out with the new grain that we just picked. So right now I'm just sweeping up this extra corn, cleaning out what's against the walls, and then I have to put these cables. They hook down into the floor to add strength to the sidewall of the building. And then once this is cleaned up, I have a little bit of rotten corn that I need to throw outside. All right, this will only take like 2 seconds. Looks good. We fill the building from the back all the way to the front, leaving about 30 feet or so. On some years we fill it completely full. We put bulkheads in the other end as well. It's pretty cool. About 120,000 bushels or so. All right, we'll be able to harvest this afternoon, hopefully. We got a few things here on the grain setup that we're just finishing up on. The electricians are supposed to come out later and wire up our motors on our augers, because we had to get 2 new ones because the old ones puked on us when we turned them on this year. I'm making the spout for the one auger right now. I got this barrel on here. I'm gonna cut this square out, and then I'll have to weld some little sides on it so the grain doesn't get out. Check this out. Might not look the prettiest, but it's gonna hold grain and it won't leak. Well, it'll leak, but not as bad as it would without it. All right, we're ready to go pick some corn. Man, that sun's in a bad spot. It's hard to see. I had clean windows yesterday until I was unloading corn and it was sprinkling, so my windows were damp and the wind was blowing right at the tractor, so it got a lot of corn dust stuck to it. So now the tractor doesn't look so green, it looks brown. I don't like the looks of this at all. Ah, jeez. I just cleaned those wheels, man. I'm full of corn, just about, and he's got maybe 50 bushels in him, so he's just gonna dump it in me. He spilt a little bit though, look at that. That's worse than cab corn. Oh. We're done for the night. Night. Alright, we got some kind of bad news. This 12-inch auger that we made, I guess we turned the motor on yesterday and it sounds like it's catching on something. So we got to pull it out, pull the flighting out, see what's getting caught. It's kind of frustrating. We want to be combining, but do what we got to do. We're just going to take this whole thing apart.
Yeah, most of them seem tracking good. There's just a couple there not.
Looks good.
How far we ran down the contact.
Do is take another 12-inch flighting that we had sitting at home that's brand new, just been sitting outside so it's rusty, put that in the tube instead because then we know it's all straight. Put that all together. We might make it just a little bit longer because since that auger wasn't designed for this pit in the first place, it was a little short, so now we can make it longer so it'll fit better. And then that'll be ready to go. All the motors are wired up and stuff. And then once we get done with beans, if we have 5 days of solid running, we'll get done with beans. But then once we get done, then we'll be ready for corn. We got about 2 tenths of rain last night. It's been pretty windy here all day and the sun's been popping out every now and again. So I walked out and checked the beans. They're still not cracking and the pods aren't breaking open. So that means a no-go. We could easily go in corn, but we're not fully set up for that yet. I'm gonna go finish working on the auger that I've been working on for what feels like forever and a half now. And I'm gonna be really excited when we get that done. I'm gonna go get a new bearing for this pulley, which was the top of the auger. It's not one to come off, so it's fighting me, but I know what size it is. So at least I can get a new one ordered before the implement store closes, and then I'm gonna fight this thing getting it off. Probably just gonna cut it off. Not a fan of unloading on the go with the bean head because we don't have an extension on our auger, so we run pretty close. It's about 7:30 and we're still rolling. Staying dry, that's what we want. Hopefully we can go for a while yet. Man, the auger plugged up, so I'm just gonna clean all this crap off and try to break that free. I'm glad this tractor has an awesome cab light. About blinding me. So when I get out to check the beans, the first thing I do is grab the pods and squeeze them, and if they're crunchy yet, like they are, then that's a good sign. The next thing I do is I feel the base of the bean. I rub my thumb up and down it, and if it gets wet, then I know that they're getting there. Right now they're a little damp. They're not too bad. It depends on which one you grab on how wet it is. So we're getting closer to quitting for the night, but I think we can still go for a little bit. And then the last thing I do is I take a pod, I break it open, and I steal a bean from it. And I'm gonna crack this between my teeth. If it doesn't crack, then we're quitting. Bon appetit. It cracked. We're good. We were able to get started around 9:30 this morning because it stayed windy all night and it really didn't get that dewy. So that's a good sign. If all runs well and we don't have any breakdowns today, knock on wood please, we should get done with beans. My lesser replacement came out to take my place in the tractor so then I can get working back on this flighting again. Well, we got everything put back together and in and on. Hey Dad, you want to turn it on quick? Huh? You want to turn it on quick? This works real nice, listen. We think something's wrong with the motor. So an electrician's coming out in about half an hour hopefully, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. It's annoying. Well, good news, we figured out what the problem was. The electrician, when he wired it up the other night, it was like 8 o'clock at night, so it's dark and he was standing on top of a ladder. So he wired it for 480 instead of 240. So we switched it back to 240, now it's running flawlessly. Alright, it's getting too dewy, the combine had to stop. We got the motor fixed. We just got to put everything back up tomorrow. We're gonna go home and eat and sleep. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week. Bye.